Welcome to the Mind Body Temple podcast, your healing space with Dr. Rod. The purpose of this podcast is to bring back hope to patients with chronic pain, anxiety, and depression. Today I want to talk to you about how can we control our hope during the times of difficulty. Despite the adversity, how can we keep up the hope? We may think that hope is a mental process that depends on our thought process. How we think may be affecting the level of our hope. But in reality, hope can be affected by our biological status. And by changing our biological status, we are able to increase or decrease our hope. The element of hope is something that is significantly linked to the way we conduct our mind, we conduct our emotions, and we conduct our physical state. Now today I want to give you some usable skills that you can have as a part of your discipline on a daily basis to use to improve the level of your hope. You know, the mindset, we have talked about how having the purpose in life and how making the peace with yourself would be helpful in order to prepare you for the level of skills. So today we are going to talk about starting the level of skills. So the routine that I want to talk to you would prepare your mind, your emotions, and your body to bring you to the zone of state, to the zone of being that you want to be in. And once you actively bring yourself to that zone and to that state of being on a daily basis, gradually it becomes a habit. And once you continue that habit, that becomes a part of your character. And by continuing being in that state of character, by doing these practices, by being disciplined on a daily basis, then this doing will turn into a way of being. You go from thinking about these discipline practices on a daily basis into a way of being. That would be automatically the way you will be going forward. And you will prepare yourself to have more hope. That's essential for your well-being and your journey of healing. When you wake up in the morning, try to pay attention to 3 objects around you. Look at your surrounding. Find 3 objects and look at them. Then try to listen to 3 sounds around you. Try to recognize 3 different sounds and listen to them. Then try to pay attention to 3 feelings or sensations inside you, inside your body, in your emotional state. Recognize them. And why are these practices important? Because by paying attention to the surrounding, by paying attention to yourself, you come to the present moment. And present moment is the only reality there is, because you don't look at things in the past. You don't hear things in the past. You don't look at things in the future. You don't hear things from future, because past and future don't exist. The only reality that exists is here and now. So by looking at your surrounding, by listening to your surrounding, and by paying attention to the sensations in this moment, you come to the present moment. That already brings you to the state that you need to be to start your daily practices. Then I want you to bring your awareness and your attention to the sensations of your breathing. Breathe in and count to 4, and then hold and count to 4, and then breathe out and count to 4, like this. Breathe out from your mouth. You'll breathe in from your nose, hold for 4, count for 4, keep, and then breathe out, count for 4. With this breathing exercise, you come to the moment. That's why we call breathing the anchor to the present time, because you only breathe in this moment. You don't breathe in the past. You don't breathe in the future, because past and future don't exist. You come to the moment because you breathe in this moment. So by paying to your attention, by looking at 3 objects, by listening to 3 sounds, by paying attention to your sensations in 3 sensations you can recognize, and by This practice of breathing, counting to 4, breathing in, holding and breathing out, counting to 4, a few times, you will come to the present moment. Then you will repeat to yourself that today I will respond and I will not react. With this, you will bring yourself to the zone you want to be through the day. And throughout the day, try to do what we call self-audit. Check yourself in your mindset. See if your mindset is full of negative thought and positive thought. Which one is dominating? What is a negative thought? A negative thought is a thought that doesn't help you. A negative thought is a thought that makes you feel bad, makes you sad, anxious, or depressed. A negative thought is a thought that is not helpful, is not solving any problem for you. Because why do we think? We think in order to find a solution for problems, but negative thoughts never solve anything for you. I give you an example. I'm not perfect at doing work with computers. So when I work with computers, if I'm not able to do it perfectly the way I like to be, it comes to the mind, oh, I'm not good for anything. It's true that I'm not perfect at doing the work with computers, but it's not true that I'm not good at anything. So right there you catch, you think about the 3 C's, you catch the negative thought. And then you discredit, you challenge the negative thought. You tell yourself that it's not true that I'm not good for everything, I'm just not good at this thing. And then you change it to something positive, the way the thought process should be, to solve a problem for you. You tell yourself, well, by paying attention to the process of learning, maybe I work and pay attention and learn or seek help, maybe I can learn to do computer work better. So you change the negative thought to a positive thought. And that positive thought will solve a problem for you. So you do the self-audit, you check your thought process during the day, and if there are negative thoughts, you catch them, you challenge them, and you change them. Then you check your emotional state and see if you can do better about any circumstances and start to feel better about yourself and your surrounding. And then check your body, see if your posture is the way it should be. See if you can do better in your movements. Try to move around a little bit more. No matter where you are, try to do a bit of a stretching and movement, even if it's for a minute. If you do this a few times during the day, you will again bring yourself to a zone of being that you would be more susceptible for being more hopeful. You're putting yourself in a better physiological state. You're using the neurochemicals of your brain. You're using the neurochemistry and neuroplasticity of your brain in order to be susceptible to be in a state that you will be more hopeful. It's a biological magic, because if you are in a negative state of mind, if you are in a negative state of emotion, if you are in a negative posture or physical state, it will be difficult to be hopeful in that state of being. And your subconscious mind will learn that you are actively bringing yourself to a zone of being that you are more susceptible for being hopeful. You are gaining control. These are skills that you need to repeat during the day in order to put yourself in a better zone, to be in a state of better hope. And at night before you go to bed, try to review the actions you had during the day and try to give yourself some more credit about things that you have done despite difficulty, despite adversity. The day was not easy, but you survived the day. Give yourself credit the way you give credit to your loved ones. When you love and adore or respect someone, you always talk to them in a respectful manner. You always give them credit for things that they do despite difficulty, despite adversity. But when it comes to ourselves, we are very harsh in self-criticizing. Constructive criticizing is good because we find out where are the areas that we can do better. But negative criticizing is not good. We talk to ourselves in a harsh way. So when you recognize during the day that things that you did were good despite adversity, you were able to do things despite difficulties, you start to give yourself credit more. And when you repeat this routine during the day, every day, day after day, you will be more susceptible to have more hope And the hopeful life is the best state of being for your journey of healing. In future, I want to talk to you more about different skills that you can add to your library of skills that you can apply to different difficult circumstances. And this way, you will be in control of your mind and your body, and you rebuild your mind-body temple. Thank you.